Hello. We're going to give everybody a few minutes to come in the room, to come and be a part of this. I hope that you can hear me. If you can't hear me, let me know. But I think that you can. And you can actually see me, and because I can see myself. So I know that you can see me. I know that you can hear me. We're just going to take our time. We are not going to rush this. If you are joining 810 Studios for, you know, this election 2024 live stream, come on in, join, say hello. Hi, cuz, how you doing? So you can chime in. You can send you know, your thoughts on the chat if you like. If you want to join the stream, let me know. I will send you the link to do so, so you can join in and talk with me. That would be great. So, I'm just excited. Thank you to everybody for tuning in and being a part of what we're doing here at 18 Studios. It's been a very interesting year, interesting election year, and I am adding in Facebook and YouTube now. They were not added in earlier, so I'm adding them in now. So, tonight we are going to talk about the election. We're going to talk about some must be's, some things that we need to do better as people. But I definitely want to have some opportunity to, just talk to everyone and, see what your thoughts are. Again, if you want to join, please let me know. I'm actually going to paste the link. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Hold on. I'm going to paste the link here. I can have up to 10 people at a time. So I'm going to paste that. It's on Facebook. Now, if you want to join in on Instagram, that may be a little different. Oh, yeah, I can add you in on Instagram too, if you want if you want to join. So I have added the link to join in the chat if you want to be a part of it. So definitely let me know. I'm going to share this as well. Uh-oh, I went away for a minute. I probably should have went from my phone, but it's okay. All right, I'm back. I'm back. So, how do you feel about the election? All right, I've got a couple people. You can probably see my head to the side. I got a couple people that have joined in, which is great. Thanks for being here. So, I am not sad today. So, many of you guys know that I am a Democrat, right? I am what they call a blue dog Democrat. So I am the former chairwoman of the Sampson County Democratic Party. I was the chairwoman for almost 6 years, I think it was. And I really, really enjoyed my time with the party. It is a lot of work. Um, you have to have passion for what you do to work with political parties because there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with the party. Trust me. A lot of meetings, a lot of decision making, and it gets hard. Um, and it's not an easy job. So my hat goes off to everyone that worked on the campaigns, whether it was a Republican campaign, a Libertarian, a Democrat, my heart goes out to you, because I know today you were probably taking a load off, just trying to, get your bearings again. So some of the things that happened, in this particular election is like unheard of. I mean, we started out with one candidate on the Democrat side, it switched to another candidate during the middle, and I really think that the switch was good. It gave us momentum, right? And that's what everybody wants. They want to have that momentum. They want to feel good, that kind of thing. But what I also realized, though, and this has always been the case, okay, there just wasn't enough, work done locally. Like, so I was watching MSNBC with my mom last night, and locally there just wasn't enough movement. And when I say local, I mean in every little small town out there in the United States, there has to be coordinated movement of the people. You could see it in small sections, okay? You could see it with HBCUs. You can see it with some Latino groups. You can see it with some D9 groups. I mean, you can see these small sections, these groups, that were forming and working, right? So the issue that we have, it's not that those people didn't go out and vote, because they voted, right? That's not the point. The point is that numbers, the voter numbers were not there. You think that, millions of people are voting, right? Well, how many people live in the United States? It's like a lot of people. I mean, probably a drop in the bucket is actually what went out and voted. And so we have to think about, out of the millions of people who are not registered, who did not go to the polls, who did not express their vote, their voice through their vote. These are the people that I want to talk to. These are the people that I want to get serious with. Not that I'm upset, but the issue is that, how are you gonna send me out into the ring with some boxing gloves on, but then you just patted me on the back, told me to go out there, and you didn't back me up. You didn't have my back. I mean, you know what I'm saying? you didn't come, and you weren't there to assist. I'm going to speak for all the people that went to the polls to vote. There was no one to back us up. So I want you to think about that. So I'm going to show you a picture, and I'm actually going to show this a couple times throughout the talk tonight. So let's take a look at this picture. So everybody wants to tell us the percentage of men and women, Black, white, Hispanic, that voted. But I want you to look at the groups, the percentages. So let me get can I make it smaller? I don't know if I can make it smaller for you guys. Sorry. I don't really know how to do it on there, but I don't know what it looks like to you, but you can go to Black Enterprise, and you can see this, right? So look at the number of white men that voted. 34%. That is a large group of people, a large sect. So 34% of white men voted. They voted 59% Republican, 39% Democrat, right? So the issue with this, that way you can see me. The issue with this is that look at the next group. So we have 37% of white women that voted, and 52% voted Republican, 47% voted Democrat. So those numbers together represent 71%, I think, of the total group of, people that voted. That's a large group. 71%. Okay? So everybody wants to show you these numbers of black people, white, not well, black people, Latino people, that black men that went out and voted. Yes, they did. But look at the groups. Now let's keep going down. So when you get down to black men, an overwhelming majority of black men, yes, voted Democrat, 78%. You sent them out there into the gladiators ring with no protection at all. Only 5% of the black male group, only 5% of the total black males that could vote voted. Now let's look at black women. We're out there, 92% of us Democrat, a small percentage of us Republican. Our numbers are not even any better. 7%. Our numbers are not any better. So if you're watching the live, please go ahead and share it. Let's start this a conversation. I want to share this information. I want us to become smarter when it comes to elections. So just to repeat, if you're just coming on, my name is Tamika Robinson. I'm known as Lady Blue, but I am the former Democratic Party chairwoman for Sampson County. Um, I served 5 to 6 years total in the party, and I'm just flabbergasted by the fact that the election was not lost because people didn't come out and vote. The people that can vote voted, but the percentages of the groups were so low that needed to vote. So that's what we're doing right now. We're breaking down the numbers of the groups because, see, this isn't about whether more black men voted, more black women voted, more Hispanic. It's about the group. So let's look at the percentages, okay? So you've got 5% black men, you got 7% black women. Look at the Latino vote. Now they're no better than us. I mean, there's 6% of the population that voted, right? But they overwhelmingly voted Republican, 54%. So they have 44%, the Latino men, 54 men, 6% of the small sliver. Look at the Latino women. Again, 6% of the total group. 61% of them voted Democrat, 37% voted Republican. So let's think about that just for a second. We all we're all out there, we're excited, or whatnot. So let me come back. So we're all excited, about this election. We're looking forward to being a part of something historic. And then the next thing you know, we are sitting ducks in the middle of the pond waiting for the meteorite to hit us. Because that's what happened. We went to a fight with no weapons. We did. We went to a fight with no weapons. I mean, think about it. You know what I'm saying? So if you are not focused on educating yourself, then what are you really doing? What are we doing? What's the point of telling people to go vote, go vote, go vote, but we're not equipping them with the real tools that they need? So I'm not on here to talk about, who's right, who's wrong, bashing the Republicans, bashing these people, bashing Democrats. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to talk about facts. These are facts. And you know it's facts. So if you have brothers and sisters and cousins and people who who are not registered to vote, it is our civic duty to make sure that our community votes. But you can't police everybody either. You can't make them want to vote. But I just think it's interesting that here we are, 2024, still trying to win elections without the majority of the people coming out to vote. Now, even in 2020, I mean, you go back to 2020, 2016, the numbers are relatively low for voter turnout. I never understood, and I don't want to get in trouble, but I never understood how people of this United States can want so many things, have so many demands, but yet you won't exercise one basic right that people fought for. My mother was only 4 or 5 years old, I think, you know, when voting rights came about for minority groups, women, men, not men, excuse me, women, blacks is what I meant to say. Um, she wasn't old. She remembers what that felt like. So if you're sitting there tonight and you're upset, you're mad, you're angry, oh my God, we lost the election. We deserved to lose the election. We deserved it. As a strategist, because I've been there, I've developed campaigns, phone banking, pulling data, door to door, marketing campaigns. If we're not doing that locally along with the national, you are not going to win an election, people. You're not going to win. As I stated, we're the sitting ducks out there in the middle of the pond, just waiting for the meteorite to come and splash and kill us, knock us out, bomb us up in the middle of the pond. That's what we were. That's what we were yesterday. So then on top of that, to add insult to injury. So I'm with my mom. We were watching the results come in, and we're also looking at Apple, and we're sitting there, and we can see the manipulation of the data too. So we can see what's on TV versus what's on our Apple, app. And it's like, wait 1 minute. The TV is all about ratings, right? That's what they're about. Getting us glued in for what reason? So they can play commercials and make money? Because that's what they were doing. So I just want to encourage everyone to stop the blame game and look at self. If you took yourself to the poll, great. I took myself to the poll. Now, there's been years past I used to take multiple people to the poll. I coordinate caravans to the poll. Okay. But I saw a number of groups, doing a really good job, working very hard. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we didn't have a good showing, but the sections, the groups of people that needed to actually vote didn't show up. And they left us, those of us who wanted a different outcome, we were there. We were focused. We tried. But we can't do it without our team. What good is there? There is an I in team. Okay. I was there. I felt that I was on a team, but my teammates were not passing the ball. Okay. For every one person that went to vote, there are hundreds of people who didn't vote. I even talked to someone who is not even registered to vote, and they're a college graduate. Blew my mind. Blew my mind, made me mad, made me want to cry. So why are you going to send us out there? Why would you send us out there with a gun that's half cocked? Really, really. We didn't even have bullets. We didn't have enough bullets. We didn't have enough. So we have to think of it that way. It's all about strategy. It's all about education. And if we don't take our time to prepare ourselves, then we're going to lose elections. So I'm just being honest with you. I'm just telling you the truth. Okay. Even with the electoral college, that is a strategy. You have to win a certain number of states. Okay. I mean, you have to get 270 electoral votes. So there are several states that are swing states that you just have to win. So if you lose them, that tells the story kind of how it's going to end. Now, what I do want to tell you is that that doesn't mean that it's over. So for our spiritual folks, there's a prophecy that has to play out. So that's why all of us have to know how to pray one for another and have belief. Also, there's a lot of, recounts going on, and the election isn't certified until November the 14th. Isn't it ironic? The election is not certified until all the votes are counted and, the 14th comes. That's when all of your provisional ballots, are counted. So you have to know how it works. And we have to stop being so deterred when it comes to voting. And I was thinking, I said, well, Doc, all the social media, all the information that's available, people are tuning into what they want to see to make them feel better, but they're not tuning into what they need to see so they can be informed. So I'm going to show you something else that, definitely want to be aware of. Now, at this point, Trump, I mean, he was elected. I mean, right now, I mean, we see that, that he was elected, and we understand. But I want you to look at this. Look at this Project 2025 and what it is going to entail. So, this is the funniest thing that many of us don't realize. There are people who are out there, they are writing these books, they are researching, they are putting together policy. Trump has been working on this forever. His name is mentioned over 300 times. This is a book. It is a book. It's a playbook. So think about business. A business has to have a business plan, right? To show how they're valuable, how they're going to make money, to pay all of their creditors back, how they're going to have a positive cash flow monthly to be able to operate. He wrote a book. He wrote a business plan for running the government. He had people working on this. They've been working on it for years. And honestly, even without Trump, they still can put this in play. So we have a section of our government or in third party individuals that are weighing in on the direction of our country. What are you doing? What game plan are you writing? What are you discussing? Everybody wants to discuss being in business, making money, you know, getting grants, all that good stuff. But are you actually making a game plan for your life? Are you making a game plan for how we're going to overcome these political issues that we have with your friends and family? I'm guilty. I'm guilty. Like I haven't made a game plan per se. And the issue is with me is that I did it years ago, and my life took a different road. I just didn't do it. But having the realization of its importance, I'm like, okay, it's time to get back to work because I haven't been working, and so I can say that I'm guilty. But the only thing I am going to say is that I was seeing all the people that went and voted. We were sent into that ring and we were not prepared. And we came out stumbling, battered, and bruised because we didn't have a game plan. There's no way that there was a unified game plan. There was a message. It was a message of hope. It was a message of, and I'm going to show this again a little bit later. It was a message of prosperity, saving, the US, saving America. Um, that was the message, guys. That was the message. Yeah, great. I'm excited. Hold on one second. I don't see my chat. Oh, here it is. Okay. Lee Rains. Hey, Lee. Okay, so I don't see. us winning any election if we don't have a game plan. If we are not talking over coffee and donuts about how we're going to win the election, making sure that each one of us takes someone to the polls. So, the thing I've learned about working in corporate America is numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. They tell the truth. They tell us what we need to know and understand about our system. So I know many of you, you tuned in, you wanted to see, what I was going to talk about. And this is what I'm talking about. We have to be more prepared. So the question is, how are we going to get prepared? We're going to do that by educating ourselves, helping to educate our neighbors, helping to educate our family, and taking people with us to vote. I met a young lady last night. Her name is Kiki. It was her first time voting. Imagine how crushed she probably feels this morning. But I'm glad she came out and she voted. I saw friends of mine who drove to Clinton from South Carolina who made an effort. And you let them drive all that way and make an effort. And you live 2 minutes from the polling place and you didn't go. You didn't go. Why? I'm confused. So, like I said, I'm not angry. I'm not, upset with anyone. I'm just stating the facts. Hey, we're stating the facts. We just didn't show up. The groups of people that needed to show up did not show up. And that's the problem. So I'm going to go back to my little graphic just so that you guys can see, because I want you to be aware. And, I hear a lot of people talk about it. They say, oh, they say, oh, our vote doesn't count. Oh, maybe that ain't the right picture that I'm supposed to be showing. They said our vote doesn't count, right? Our votes do count. Okay. I want us all to understand that the vote does count. But I don't know how my picture got turned around like that. Okay, anyways. um the vote does count, but not enough of them were cast to make a difference. Let me repeat it. The vote counts, but not enough were cast to make a difference. So if you're complaining today, you're mad, you're sad, oh my God, look at this. Who was going to win based on the numbers? 34% of white men versus 5% of black men versus 6% of Latinos. Who do you think was going to win? If I go to an event and I have a SD card that only has, 60 minutes of space and I'm videoing, it's not even going to last that long. It's like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes max. Because, space, it takes up a lot of space on the SD card. So look at the numbers of people. We went to an election where we needed over 50% of the minorities to show up. What did we get? We got 12, 18, 24. We got a little over 30%, somewhere in there. Numbers, talk numbers with people. Now, yeah, like I said, I think that, yes, the prophecy does have to be fulfilled. I think that has to come to pass. I don't think it's over. I can't. I mean, I know that, you know, Vice President Harris, I know that she congratulated Trump, but I hope and pray that someone is counting ballots, okay? That is sitting down really looking at the numbers. That's what I hope and pray. So we're going to take a break for just a second here. For all of those that have joined the first part of the broadcast, thank you. I've actually had it on for a while, you know, just playing with it. If you want to make any comments or you want to join in, you know, definitely please do. I would love to hear from you. You want me to send you the link so that you can join. I don't even know what that means. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I don't know how that got turned around, but anyway, we're going to take a break for just a few minutes and I'm going to come back. And we're going to start over. We're going to have some more conversation about this wonderful election. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to, like I said, let's take a break for a minute and we'll be right back. Hey, everybody. I am coming back. We are coming back live again. So if you had joined us, if you are um, wanting to talk, to join the live, please do so. I'm trying to video back. It's not showing me. I don't know. Oh, there I am. Okay, you guys can see me. As long as you can see me, that's what counts. That's fine. Hey, everybody. We are here tonight to talk about the election. I want to hear from you. As you guys know, my name is Tamika Robinson. I'm with 18 Studios. I am the owner, and we are a media outlet located here in Clinton, North Carolina. We cover events large and small and everything in between. And the election is not by itself. So definitely want to spend some time talking to you guys. I'm excited to be here with you. And, you know, I've been on this live for, a little bit and, been talking to some folks. And as I stated, I am not upset. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. But what I am is shocked. I'm shocked because people do not realize elections um, take a lot of coordination, take a lot of work. And we have to work together to win. There has to be a strategy, there has to be a game plan. And I think that some groups did a really good job, of strategizing, of trying to, pull a game plan together. But the majority of people had the misconception that elections are not fair. Okay. That because their candidate didn't win, I'm never voting again. I went and I voted, it didn't count. Well, your vote counts. And one of the things to note is that they are still counting ballots. Elections are not certified until November 14th in North Carolina, specifically. So there is still time. You never know. And then you have military ballots. You got all kind of ballots out there that are still being counted. So just because the media wants us to believe, that on election night, magically, these are the numbers and, they're the be all numbers, they may or may not be. So we have to understand how voting works. So sometimes you have to learn the system, work the system. Now, we've been able to vote for many, many years, okay? But some folks in office at the state level, at the federal level, have been able to manipulate the lines. They've been able to manipulate the system to work in their favor. So, what we as the American people have to do is we have to learn how to run an actual campaign and get the vote out. So, as a former party chairperson, I was Sampson County Democratic Party chairwoman for about 5 to 6 years. I learned from some of the best. And so you have to have a strategy. And if you don't have that strategy, there will be a breakdown, okay, across all lines. So what I saw was we had a big national push. We're all excited, we're ready to go. And like I said, I'm guilty. I'm not, you know, without blame. I took myself to the poll and I voted. But there were, hundreds of people that I could have took. But in reality, I think our goal needs to be, our family and friends. I was so encouraged. I saw people driving in from South Carolina. I saw people, coming down from Raleigh. They were coming home, and they, were voting. And so I'm encouraged. I'm thinking that everybody is thinking like me. We need to get out and we need to vote. Well, the issue is that it's not that we didn't vote. So I want you to really, really pay attention to this. It's not that we didn't vote. It was that the numbers of people, the quantity of people that we needed to win didn't come out to vote. And so basically I, liken that to going into the ring, not prepared. We didn't have the right teeth guard. We didn't have the right gloves. We just weren't ready. But most of all, the people behind us that pushed us into the ring, that's all they did. They just pushed us in there. Okay, you're going to vote. So excited. It's great. But you didn't come with me, sis. You didn't come with me, bruh. You sent me there by myself. And how fair is that? That's not fair. So tonight it's not about bashing anybody, talking about anybody, saying that one group is better than the other. It's not that. It boils down to strategy. And you have to do it in enough time, that you're going to be able to affect change. And here in the United States today, we're so scared to knock on somebody's door. I was just telling my coworker today, I said, if somebody knocks on my door, I'm not answering the door if I don't know who you are. We're so scared. But we have something different that we can use to communicate, which is social media. But we can also hide behind it too. We can hide behind social media. We can act like we're doing all kind of things. But what we're not doing is we're not having the proper conversations to create strategy. And I'm guilty. I'm okay with raising my hand and saying I'm guilty. But I think that after, yesterday, I don't want to be guilty anymore. I want to be smarter, and I want to work hard again, to help get the vote out. So GOTV, that's what it's called. It's get the vote, get out the vote. That's what it is. And I think that the Black Alliance, I think that, different groups did a really, really good job in North Carolina for pushing the vote forward. But the mobilization of people, that's our issue. So if you're tuned in, if you want to join the live, let me know. I'm going to add the link so that you can join me. I'm gonna add it in the chat. So let me put it here. If you want to join, um, I only have space for 10 people. I'll be more than happy to to bring you in. So I just sent that out. If you want to join, I'll let certain people join. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm not letting everybody join. But certain people, yes. um, so come on in. Let's talk about it. Um, let's get our feelings out there. But I'm gonna tell you my real feeling is that we didn't have a plan. Okay. So there's a couple of things I want to share with you. In the first group, they've already seen this, but I'm going to share it, with this group again, if you haven't seen it. So I don't want to talk about, who voted per se. I don't want you to focus on that. So everybody's focused on the blue and the red. Ooh, the blue and the red. But what people aren't focused on is the percentage of each group that actually came out and voted. Hello. So if you go into a fight and you've only got, this double barrel shotgun, the bullet's about this big, you got to keep loading it, and then you got to fire, load, fire. But if you have a machine gun ready to go with multiples that can do it all at one time, who's going to win in the shootout? Think about it. Who's going to win in the shootout? The machine gun is going to win every day. Hands down. Unless the other person is a good shot. They're going to win. So if you look at these numbers, white men, 34% of 100, 34% out of 100% showed up to the polls to vote. And an overwhelming majority, 59% of Republicans, they voted. Only 39% voted Democrat. Look at white women. 37% of 100 showed up to vote. That's 71% already. 71%, people, of the total individuals that were registered to vote, they showed up. And the overwhelming majority was 52%. So you can't be mad because your candidate lost. But you can be mad because your neighbors, your siblings, your family members that are not registered, didn't register, didn't come out to vote, etc., etc. Let's look at the other groups. Now, I am proud. I'm proud of the Black men and the Black women that did come out to vote. Look at their Democrat number. 78% of Black men cast their ballot Democrat. 78%. 92% of Black women cast their ballot Democrat. That is wonderful. Thank you. I'm part of that number. I'm a Democrat. But look at our percentages as a whole. 5%, 5% for the men and 7% for the women. We got out there in the middle of the pond waiting to be shot. Waiting to be shot, y'all. We were sitting ducks waiting. Think about it. The double barrel shotgun, I got shoot, reload, shoot, reload. The machine gun, they can shoot repetition until they get their target. There was way more of them than there are of us. And when I say us, I mean Democrat. In the Black men group, Black women group, look at Latinos. Okay. So Latino men, 6% of the total population to vote. But overwhelmingly we're 54% Republican. 50, yes, Chris. Yes. Yes. Face palm. Face palm. Thank you. Okay. You know, this is crazy. It's like, what are we actually doing? Do we even have a plan? That's the thing. That is what you have to remember. Just like you plan your budget, just like you're going to plan your Thanksgiving meal, you're going to plan to get your Christmas, you got to plan to vote. We have to have a plan. So we thought, because we were passionate, excited about voting, we're going to the polls, we're doing our part, that was all well and good. But, freaking frack back here, they stay home eating donuts and drinking coffee and looking at TV. And they left us out there by ourselves. And that's how we ended up in the situation that we're in today. So not even 30%. So I think it was like 31% maybe total of the folks that were registered out of the population that could vote. They cast their vote for the minority groups, right? How are we expecting to win an election? How are we expecting to overturn a vote so strong by other populations if we don't outnumber them? That's why she lost. And we owe her an apology. We hyping her up. We're so excited. We're going to rallies. We got all these people out there. And that was great. But all those people that are, on the level of stardom, the number one thing they needed to be sure of was making sure their communities were registered to vote. Doing more than bringing a DJ. Okay? So our strategy was not well thought of. Now, I'm going to share something else with you. Please chime in, everyone. If you want to be a part of this, chime in. So I'm going to share one more thing with you really quickly. And I want to talk about this. So let me see if I can get my picture changed. There we go. I know those on Instagram can't see this right now. But I want you to take a look at this information right here. If you've heard of Project 2025, but you haven't read it, then I want to encourage you to go out. Is the website is there. You can go to the website, you can read each section, you can actually go through, the book. And you can order the book too, but you can actually read it online. Okay? So it is public knowledge. But even though it's public knowledge, people hadn't read it. They're not wanting to read it. They don't want to take time to understand it. Trump said he had nothing to do with Project 2025. He's had a team of people writing this since his last election, planning, executing, ensuring that there's an agenda going into 2025. There is a whole playbook. But because we won't do our homework as people, then they could get by with it. Read some of the things. So it says, end no fault divorce, complete ban on abortion without exceptions, ban contraception, additional tax breaks for corporations, higher taxes for the working class, elimination of unions and worker protections. I mean, as you can say, you know, they say some of this information is false, but until I read it myself line by line, I'm not going to say it's false or it's real. I'm going to say I need to be aware. I need to be aware. We need to make our families aware. And as I stated, I am not without guilt. I didn't make sure anybody, people had mail in ballots. I really didn't. I'm telling the truth. I took myself to vote. Myself, my mom, she went to vote, right? But we have to become more responsible. And as a former party chairwoman, yes, I took a step back. There are several things that happened in my life. I got married, I had children. I had other things that I wanted to do because I'm goal oriented, right? These that didn't interest me kind of anymore. I just wanted to be able to cast my vote, do what I needed to do. But if we don't educate ourselves, if we don't work together and stop giving lip service, then what do you expect? Tell me, what do you expect? Yeah, Chris, words are beautiful, but action is supreme. We talked about it, but we didn't act on it. That's right. Look at the number of people out there who rah, 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 rah for voting and didn't even weren't registered, didn't go to the polls, didn't take anyone to the polls. I mean, let's be real. And so all the people that, we saw on TV, the news anchors, that person, who, were crying, sad, hurt. They were that way because they're in the ring. They were in the ring fighting every day. They were fighting every day, y'all. But they didn't have any support. We literally put them in the ring and said, go in there, do your best. That's what we said. Yeah, Lee said she voted early. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We there's power in numbers. Yeah, I was just reading some of these chats. I want y'all to see the chats too, so you can see that people are actually writing this. So it's not me making it up. But this is why we're here today. We are here today. We're in this situation today because we did not have a strategy. So I'm not going to say the Republican Party. Now, that's one of the things I'm not going to say. Um, as far as them being a part of Project 2025, writing that, there's a group of people that are a part of it. That is definitely a Trump thing that he sat down and they made a plan. They have a game plan. There's a playbook. Go out to the website and read it for yourself. You can also read the Federal Register for more information. And I know most people, will not do that. They're not going to take the time to go look it up. So that's what media is for. Media is for a lot of things. Media plays a big part in that communication, closing the gap, educating people. But I think the number one thing is not to elicit fear about what might happen. It's to encourage people to become more educated, to see how the system works, and to exercise their right. So in this case, we failed to exercise our right. We got left in the dust by two groups of people who exercised their right. The rest of us didn't. Our group stayed home, doing whatever, crocheting, making stuff, looking at TV, doing fun things, instead of taking 10 minutes out of their day to make sure they were registered, to make sure they voted. Someone died for the right for us to vote. Someone, somewhere, white, black, Hispanic, whoever, died for our right to vote. And, one of the things I know I'm going to get in trouble, okay? I know I could get in trouble for this. But what really drives me crazy is that so many people they want. They want gas prices to be lower. They want food to be lower. They want all these things to be lower. They complain. Yet they don't go out and exercise their right to vote. If you didn't register and you didn't vote, or you were registered and you didn't go and vote, I don't want to hear anything from you. No complaints. Just go with it. Go with it. Thank you. No complaints. Take what you have and just understand that's what you got. That's what you asked for. The other thing is that, individuals in this country, there's a group of people that serve in the military that went out and sacrificed their life for you to have democracy, to have freedom. And this is how you repay? This is how you repay them for risking their life? What about the people that marched? Martin Luther King, women, anybody that went out and marched and was subject to getting mauled by a dog or getting sprays and hosed with water or losing their life. I'm confused. I am literally confused. We have a responsibility. And, I'm not just going to go live tonight just one time. I'm going to be coming back, you know, um, as much as I can, and just sharing information, being more a part of the fabric of creating the conscience of voters. We have to get back to basics. So I talked about going door to door, strategizing, putting out signs. I used to even, send voter guides to churches. I mean, North Carolina Black Alliance is doing a great job. So shout out to Marcus Bass and his team, for all the work that they're doing. But you can't put them in the ring either. There were so many people that were in rings. When I say rings, I mean like, in the field, in the boxing rings. We literally put them there with no support, without the right equipment, and with a little pat on the back, like a push. Okay, well, go on out there and see what you could do. No, we can't move forward that way. We can't expect to win that way. So I'm not gonna, sugarcoat anything. I'm not gonna say, hey, well, if you go vote and, you know, make your vote count, it's gonna turn out right. So no, it's not gonna turn out right. But what I do know is that numbers tell us the real story. The percentage of the groups that needed to vote, they just didn't do it. At the end of the day, they did not do it. And if you are part of that group of people, you know, that's when I look at the numbers, so, you break it down 100%. So 71%, an overwhelming majority, voted Republican because there was no other group to outweigh them. Let me say it one more time. Over 71% of the people, of the 100% of people that could vote, voted Republican. There was no other group to outweigh them, to cancel out their vote. Let that sink in. But we want to all be, sad. We want to blame, we want to say, oh, they were cheating, they were this, they were that. Nobody was cheating. Nobody was cheating. Lee, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. People died for the right for us to vote. Okay. I'm a saved Christian woman. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I am a saved Christian woman. If the Lord wants to come for me right now, he can come for me. And I know where I'm going. Think about it. Be of good courage is what the word says. It's wrong. If you were so scared about going to the polls, why didn't you do a mail-in ballot? They have mail-in ballots. Let's begin to stop making excuses and start taking action that means something. If people really want to vote, they're going to find a way to vote. I'm not belittling what you say. I'm just saying that's the fact. They're going to find a way. So I know some people are like, oh, maybe they got upset and I've lost them, with that or whatever, but I'm just saying it's the truth. And so many people, are not taking the opportunity. So I just want to end this tonight by saying the word strategy. We need a strategy, and we need to work together to build a strategy that brings the people out to vote, that helps people feel comfortable with voting. I mean, I heard of all the situations that were going on. There was long hours at the polls, issues going on. But honestly, if the greater majority of the minority groups were to come out and actually vote to cast a ballot, it wouldn't have made a difference. It would have made no difference because the number of people would have outweighed all of those folks. So let's begin to talk about strategy. Let's begin to talk about planning for the future, and how we can improve, our situation. Because as I stated, the Republican Party, they have a strategy, y'all. If you notice that the majority now in the House and the Senate is Republican, they have a strategy. Do we have a strategy? As Black people, as Hispanic, Latino people, do we have a strategy? Do the Democrats have a strategy? It's time to get back to education, developing candidates, working within the party, being unified. That's how you're going to win elections. You can't get it like this. A house divided will what? Fall. It will fall. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in, for chiming in, for being a part of this live broadcast. We're going to do it again. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for joining me. And with that, I'm going to say have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Bye.